Hello my dear students and welcome to Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipuri and today I will be teaching you blood transfusion and blood groups, and in detail we will study ABO and RH systems as well. So children, many a times it becomes necessary to inject blood into a person whenever he is going a surgery or something. So this process of injecting blood into a person's body through his veins is known as blood transfusion. Now children, the question arises here is that whether anyone can donate blood to anyone, whether we can take blood of any person? No. Suppose here there is a recipient who is taking blood from a donor through the veins, that is transfusion is happening. So what are the conditions that are necessary for transfusion? That the type of the blood to be transfused should be compatible with the type of the blood of the recipient. That is, the blood of both of them should be compatible with each other. That is why it is very important to study different blood groups. So the concept of blood grouping was discovered by Karl Landsteiner. He said the RBC of human beings have specific proteins on their surface, and these proteins are called antigens. So here you can see there are different RBCs, but on their surface there are different antigens. So here you can see A antigen. So if A antigen is present on the surface of RBC, then the person who is containing this type of RBC is said to have a blood group A. Now you can see on this RBC surface there is this B antigen present. That is why a person who is having such an RBC is said to have a blood group B. Similarly, you can see on this RBC there are two protein, okay, A and B antigens, and here on O there are none, there is no antigen. Okay, so this is how blood groups are classified on the basis of which specific protein is there on their surface. So now suppose the recipient is having a blood group A, and if this recipient is given the blood of a person who is containing blood group B, so this will act as a foreign particle for it and it will produce antigen, that is antibody generator. Okay, so it will generate antibodies. So now in this person's blood plasma, these antibodies will be generated, and these antibodies which are secreted in the plasma will act against them. It will fight with this. So here you can see now this is B, okay, who is having its own antigen. Okay, now if this is transfused into a person having blood group A, then these antibodies that were generated in blood group A, okay, will cause a clotting. So they will all surround it, okay, like this, and they will form a clot. And because of the formation of this clot, further flow of blood is stopped, it is restricted. So this process is known as agglutation. Now, because of this agglutation, the person may also die. And also if you note here that these antibodies will not affect at all the blood group A. That is why we say that a person having a blood group A should not be transfused this blood containing blood group B. Now let's see here, similarly now this is the recipient. Okay. Now the recipient is containing which blood group? It is containing blood group B. Now if this person is given the blood of the person containing blood group A, then in the plasma of this person, this antibodies A are generated. They are secreted in the plasma. Now they will fight against them and they will not fight against this. So now here you can see that if this A has entered, so these antibodies will clot him. It forms a clot, whereas this will not affect blood group B. Now here you can see, now in this case the recipient is having a blood group AB, so it is containing antigens of A and B both. Okay, but this does not secrete any antibodies in the plasma. So, a person containing blood group AB does not secrete any antibodies in the plasma. Now since there are no antibodies in the plasma, there is no one to fight the other blood groups. So, that is why person containing blood group A can also donate blood to them, and person containing blood group B can also donate to them. That is why the person containing the blood group AB are known as universal acceptors or universal recipients. Now see here, this is the RBC of a person who's having blood group O. Now this person does not have any antigens here on its RBC surface, but it produces antibodies A and antibodies B. So it is producing two antibodies. So it will restrict the entry of A, okay? It will restrict the entry of B, and it will also restrict the entry of AB, which is containing both the antigens. That is why none of these blood groups are able to donate blood to a person containing blood group O. That is why the person containing blood group O is known as universal donor. It cannot take blood from anyone, but it can give blood to any of the person. A, B and AB, all of them are not able to give blood to blood group O. So he can only accept blood from the same blood group. That is, a person containing blood group O can only donate blood to this. Now let us revise all this. So here is the RBC of the person who is having blood group A. So he is having which antigens? A antigen, and it produces antibodies B. So it is the enemy of B. Now B contains this antigen, B antigen, and it produces antibodies A in the plasma. Now blood group AB contains both the antigens, that is antigen A and antigen B. But it does not secrete any antibodies in the blood plasma. Now, the RBC of the person having blood group O has no antigens. You can see there are no antigens on its surface, but it secretes two antibodies, that is anti-A and anti-B. Now, you can also see here that since group AB had no antibodies, okay, that is why the people with group A, group B and group O, all of them could donate blood to it. That is why group AB is known as universal acceptor or universal recipient. Here you can see that group O has two antibodies. So not even this, not even B and not even AB was able to donate blood to it. And since it has no antigens, that is why it can donate to all of them. That is why it is known as universal donor. Now let's look at the ABO system in detail. Now you can see here a person with blood group A can take blood from a person with blood group A. It can also take blood from a person of blood group O because this O is a universal donor. O can donate to anyone. So A can take blood group. So A can take blood from A and from O, and it can give its blood to AB. Now a person containing blood group B can take the blood from a person having blood group B. It can also take from a person having blood group O because he is universal donor, and he can give to AB. Okay. Now please note that A cannot give to B and B cannot give to A. Now if you see the blood group AB, he is able to take blood from A, blood from B and also from the universal donor. So he is able to accept all the blood. That is why it's known as universal recipient. So now suppose there is a person who is having blood group A. Now will he be able to take blood from blood group A? Yes. But will he be able to take blood from blood group B? No. Will he be able to take blood from blood group AB? No. but he can accept the blood from universal donor. Now let's take on to blood group B. Now, is blood group B able to take blood from A? No. Is he able to take blood from B? Yes, because the blood group matches. Is he able to take from blood group AB? No. But he can take from universal donor. Now here AB is a universal recipient, so it will take blood from everyone. Now O is a universal donor, so it is not able to accept from A, not from B, not from AB, but is able to accept blood from the same blood group, that is O. Now let's go ahead and learn about another system, that is RH factor. Now this RH system, the blood of most people contains a substance called RH factor. Now what is this RH factor? Now here you can see that the blood groups are A plus, A minus, B minus, B plus. So there's minus and plus also there. But till now we had studied only blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and O. So now what is this plus and minus? So here if you see blood group A plus, it is having A antigen, you can see here. And A minus is also having A antigen, right? But here there is something extra. Here there is RH antigen also. But here you can see there is no RH antigen. That is why it is known as negative. So red blood cell which is containing the RH factor is called RH positive, and which lacks this RH antigen is known as RH negative. Here also if you see, in case of B, both of them are having B antigen. So B minus is also having an antigen and B plus is also having B antigen. But here there is something extra. Here there is RH antigen also present here. That is why this is RH positive and this is RH negative. That is why B plus and B minus. Now the blood of most people contains a substance called RH factor. We did this. Now RH, what is RH? RH stands for rhesus. Rhesus is a common monkey. In rhesus monkey this factor was first discovered. That is why the name RH factor. Now when the blood of an RH positive, that is a person containing RH antigen. So the blood, when the blood of RH positive person is transferred to a person RH negative, that is the one who is lacking that antigen, then the blood of the recipient develops the antibody for RH substance. Okay, it will develop an antibody because it is foreign for it. That is, it gets sensitized. This word is very important, children. It gets sensitized towards it. And within about 2 weeks of transfusion, it develops this antibody. So now if there is a second transfusion to the same person, so there is this RH negative person and again you give the blood of an RH positive person. In that case, the antibodies that was produced earlier in the first transfusion causes a reaction with the transfused blood, which may even lead to death. Now this is also similar to development of an allergy. So here there is a lot of importance of RH factor during pregnancy. Here you can see there is a RH positive man. This is an RH negative female. Now if this female carries the baby of this man who was RH positive, now this fetus is also RH positive. The RH positive fetus antigens, that is the antigens of this fetus, can enter in the body of this female during delivery. Then the mother will produce the anti-RH antibodies. So you should note that nothing will happen to this child. This child will be normal. But now after the delivery, this female has developed, has produced the anti-RH antibodies. So now if she is pregnant for the second time with the same RH positive fetus of this man, then the antibodies that were generated in her body will fight with the blood of this fetus, and this will be fatal for that fetus. The fetus may die and it may cause an abortion. So that is why the study of RH factor is very, very important. So children, this was all about blood transfusion, ABO system and RH system. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and write in the comment box as well. And please do share our videos with all of your friends. and keep the learning on. Thank you.